Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another video. Yes, my voice sounds rough. Yes, I'm still really ill, but we're hanging in there. So I'm streaming at the moment, and I'll just give you guys just a very quick rundown. The content in this week, some of it is going to be live commentaries that I've already recorded at the end of last week, but that was when I was beginning being ill. And then kind of the remaining content is either going to be replays, or I do have POV commentaries to do. They're just a bit awkward to do while I'm live streaming. So I'm going to try and do those after I live stream. So yeah, this week, if you can just bear with me, is going to be a bit odd. But if anything, I'm hoping this week will be very educational, being more commentary, like replay commentary or even POV commentary, some viewer spectates as well. But yeah, thanks, by the way, for I did some social media posts, and a lot of people were like, you know, please get better, look after yourself. I had the weekend off, hello Tenshoga, and the weekend was awful, like really bad. I'm a little bit better than yesterday. Not good at all, but we're hanging in there. Sergeant Castle, 32 months with Prime, thank you so much. But yeah, what are we watching? So we are watching Lane Lee Sin. So Lee Sin is actually starting to gain popularity once again in lane. And if you're newer to the game in the last couple of years, you will not have known Lee Sin to be at all a laner. But Lee Sin truly was one of the most powerful laners, I want to say about 8 years ago. And yes, I did say that right, about 8 years ago. Some people may know the pro player Froggen, or ex-pro at this rate. He was obviously a very well-known Anivia player. A lot of us Anivia players looked up to Froggen as the chosen one, but he also was one of the best Lee Sin mids in the game. A lot of champions that you may know as like junglers, a lot of them actually did originate, especially as mid laners. You know, Kha'Zix. A lot of people may not realize, originally when Kha'Zix got released, he was a mid laner. He wasn't a jungler. The pro player Alex Ich for Gambit, he was the best Kha'Zix mid in the world. I played Kha'Zix mid, you know? But yeah, the idea of Lee Sin, by the way, and it's the same really with top. Top and mid, well, they do differ a bit. So top lane Lee Sin, unsurprisingly, is also gaining popularity, but for a slightly different reason. You are going Hullbreaker on top lane Lee Sin. Typically, people in mid lane aren't doing Hullbreaker because mid lane is not the split push position where top lane is. But basically, what are the strengths of Lee? So just to understand, like, the mentality. So Lee Sin as a champion, he's not an assassin, but he's also not a full, like, juggernaut. He's basically a damage bruiser. And damage bruisers are actually incredibly strong at the moment. They have a lot of powerful items open to them. You know, Ravenous Hydra. They can go Stride Breaker, which is really good. And then they also can dip their toe into tank items too, which are also quite nice. Lee Sin himself is a playmaker, and you know, especially when he gets, I would imagine he's going to rush a Tiamat item for wave clear. His wave clear compared to, and you know, it has to be said, a typical mage like Orianna is eventually going to be so powerful that Orianna will not be able to keep this Lee Sin in lane. So he'll be able to like either wave with Tiamat or Hydra, kill the wave, and then look for roaming is going to be quite powerful. He'll also be very strong into invading enemy jungle. And eventually, you know, you can even see Orianna's not managing to poke him because he's actually positioning very well. His sustain is very strong. So his initial W is a shield. So he can shield a little bit of damage incoming. But when you double W, you actually gain innate lifesteal and spell vamp. So Lee Sin can actually survive against ranged matchups more effectively than a lot of other melee champions can. And it's the final thing about Lee Sin in himself. He has not been great for quite a few years. You know, he is more early game based than late game, and the game has moved kind of into more late game focus. He hasn't been played a lot, but he's one of the most fun champions to play. And I think I love playing Lee Sin. There was, you know, a few 2 or 3 seasons in a row, he was my most played champion for the whole ranked year. I loved Lee Sin, and I think some people just enjoy playing him, and the moment that there's a sniff that, oh, you can play Lee Sin again, if any position comes up, people are going to flock to playing Lee Sin again. Because he's just really fun. You know, by now he's an old champion. But still, to this day, there is a meme, as we all probably are aware, that every single world he will genuinely get a buff. Why? Because he's so fun to watch. Even Riot kind of talks about that meme. Oh, hello. So Lee Sin, I think he knew, or maybe he didn't, because he was going over there and basing, so he may not have known that Kha'Zix was actually there. As for runes, etc., by the way, so he has gone Conqueror, which obviously is going to be pretty standard. Conqueror into Triumph into Alacrity. That actually surprises me. Alacrity is obviously attack speed. I'm surprised he actually hasn't gone anti-CC personally. But anyway, Coup de Grace. And then you've gone into Tankiness, which obviously is going to help into sustaining against a ranged champion. Second Wind. Revitalize. Again, very good for, you know, everything right now is about helping him stay in lane. And then he's going to go attack speed. Oh, Orianna ult, good dodge by Lee. Attack speed, attack damage, and magic resist. So nothing completely out of the crazy. As I said, the only thing that is actually surprising me is the fact that he went attack speed in his runes, not tenacity. Mainly because Lee Sin, you know, yeah, he does auto attack, but a lot of his damage is more spell based than auto attack based. You want to get your auto attacks in, but typically you're not auto attacking constantly. You're just getting one auto attack in within each spell. So you Q, and if you can, you Q, auto attack, then finish your Q, or you W, auto attack, finish your W, because it basically is maximizing your energy production as Lee Sin. Hey, nice play by Lee. Orianna does have flash, but she's not responded yet. Lee Sin so far misses that Q, but I think Orianna will be dead here with the help of Talia, and there we go. So really nice kick play by Lee. Obviously, that is going to be one of his power plays, is using the flash, because you can't realistically react to it unless you flash yourself early. That's how you beat a flash kick by Lee, is you yourself flash early. But then if you flash too early, then Lee Sin hasn't used his. So it's kind of a tricky situation of how actually to respond to a Lee. Because yeah, if you flash and he flashes, great, you dodged it, maybe. But you know, if you flash early because you know it's coming and he doesn't, well, next time he's got his flash and you don't. So it's kind of the mind games as well as Lee Sin. Like, I find some of the best champions in the game, they add an extra layer, and that layer is mind games of when am I going to do it? You know it's coming, but when am I going to do it? And I think that's in itself is actually kind of a fun skill too. So yeah. So bot lane seems to be a little bit of a fiesta. So Alistar has died twice. Zeri's doing okay, but Alistar, which is weird because Alistar usually is very good at surviving. But yeah, Lee Sin, I will say, has surprised me. He has gone a wave clear item, so not Tiamat, but he's gone Iron Spike Whip, so that does give him AoE clear. But it does show, I think he's prioritizing the Stride Breaker very heavily. So I don't know about you guys. Oh, nice bait by Orianna. Kha'Zix was waiting. Easy bait, and there you go. That is obviously one of the negatives of Lee Sin. He is an all-in champion. So as for junglers, you know, if you're playing jungle and you have a Lee Sin against you, he's probably quite easy ganks as long as you wait for him to go for an all-in. They're trying to kill the Kha'Zix. They will. A lot of summoners use, though. But yeah, so he's got decent escape, obviously, mind you. Like, if he uses his Q to engage, sure, he's got his kick to get you away and his W or even flash to obviously get distance. But if he's low health and you can bait him in, he's not the hardest champion to kill in a gank. Another double kill, 2v1 bot lane that was, by the way. Alistar is not bot lane right now, and Zeri has killed both of them. Okay. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, I was saying before, Stride Breaker seems to be incredibly strong right now. I don't know what's happened, but it seems that most bruisery type of champions are all buying Stride Breaker, and it seems a little bit obnoxious in how strong it is. So I don't know exactly what's happened, but yeah. So they do manage, Lee Sin gets another kill on the Aurelia. Good by the Aurelia to get herself another kill, you know, fair play. She does weirdly have exhaust flash. I don't know if I like the exhaust personally, but I guess it does help her get kills, but it does seem a bit peculiar. So farm-wise, Lee Sin a little bit behind. You'd expect him to be a little bit behind potentially of a ranged champion anyway. You know, there is an advantage for ranged champions in early lane phase. But if you can stay relatively close, you know, it's pretty good. And I would say after this wave, Lee Sin has stayed relatively close. I wouldn't say he's worlds away. He has been involved in more kills than the Orianna. She's been involved in 1. Lee Sin has been involved in 3. So if you look at the actual overall gold at the moment, Lee Sin's on 4.2, Orianna's on 3.9. So Lee Sin's actually ahead. So he does hit a long-range Q, does do a bit of damage, and that you'll start to see this happening more and more. And this is why it surprised me he actually didn't go Ravenous Hydra first, because Ravenous Hydra first... excuse me, it does give more sustain, and I would imagine the sustain element of, especially against a mage, that mages don't have sustain in lifesteal or spell vamp. They just don't have it. I would be more inclined, if I was playing Lee Sin mid against a mage, to go Ravenous Hydra first and just basically every engage I can go for an engage and then sustain for the next wave or two, and the mage can't sustain like that. That would be a big advantage. Yeah, I might give Lee Sin a go in lane. I'm hoping, my hope each day of the last few days have been getting slightly better. Saturday and Sunday were bad. Today is Monday. I'm hoping tomorrow I'll be playing. So yeah, today I've decided not to play any ranked. I think it would be unfair to teammates, and I just don't think I have the concentration. But I'm hoping tomorrow at least I can maybe play a few games. I'm not, you know, going to say, oh yeah, I'll be doing a 5-6 hour stream playing all that time. But if I could play maybe 3 ranked games tomorrow or something, great. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are okay with that. Again, it does obviously look like it was COVID again. But yeah, again, and I think it is affecting people a lot at the moment, because obviously the last booster jabs and everything like that were a long time ago. We haven't really had them for a year or two. So that, I think, is why it feels rougher than before. Another Lee Sin flash play. So one thing I will say, oh my god, he followed. That is so unfortunate for the Orianna. So there is a chance that you literally just saw there, depending when you flash and when the Lee Sin is following you in queue, sometimes if you flash really well, Lee Sin will be left the other side of terrain. But if you mistime that flash, as you just saw there, he will follow you. Yeah. It's not really spaghetti code. It is kind of by design. Oh, he's actually gone Gore Drinker. So Gore Drinker or Stride Breaker, both strong items at the moment. I guess Gore Drinker does now give him that sustain that he was kind of missing before, in a way. So you're probably going to start seeing a very, very aggressive Lee Sin. The fact that he's got Gore Drinker first item. He's also got, if you notice, Boots of Lucidity. So yeah, he's just looking to go absolutely ham and cheese and do as much damage as he possibly can at all times. So you're like, look, going in, doesn't care, do a bit of damage. Guess what? He can sustain it quite easily. Like, that's the whole point of what he's trying to do. Helping steal the blue over the wall. Very nice. Hello, Aurelia. Gonna fight. Nice stun to stop the Alistair. The amount of pings, Jesus Christ, man. Alright, big fight coming. Only Alistair so far has been hit, though. And Lee Sin's 2v1, but he'll be fine with that. Obviously, Lee Sin is, you could say, Kha'Zix's weird flash there. Lee Sin is a fairly natural counter to Kha'Zix. Lee Sin's E, for those that are unaware, actually do show stealth targets. Or at least it shows stealth targets, or at least the outline of them. So if Lee Sin does hit an E on a Kha'Zix, something like that, he'll know where the Kha'Zix is. He'll know where, like, an Akali is, for example. So that is one of Lee Sin's kind of good elements against a lot of modern strong champions who have stealth. What does it actually say? Does it say anything? Nope. It's weird that it does. Oh wait, does it say at least if it hits an enemy? No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't say that it does that, which is weird. That why it doesn't say it in his spell, but I promise you it does. Meanwhile, I think Zeri got another kill on the Kai'Sa, and again, this is a modern game, by the way. On current patch of me recording this, well, actually, yeah, this is going to be tonight's second video, I think. It's weird that the Kai'Sa's not doing, like, obviously the modern build. But yeah. So Lee Sin going for another kill. Again, he doesn't really care much about the tower. He's going to get obviously the thing. And one thing is worth mentioning, his benefit right now will be staying within the minions. Really nice play. So he played that really well of staying within minions for 2 reasons. One, anti-isolation against a Kha'Zix. So if ever you're fighting against a Kha'Zix, the best thing you can do if you think it's going to be close is stand next to something. Go stand next to a minion, go stand next to a Rift Herald or something, because you basically deny his isolation damage on his Q. And secondly, the more things that he could AoE, let's say with his E, that's actually healing him more from the Omnivamp of his Gore Drinker. So there was two good reasons why he actually moved closer to minions there. So again, that's just really good play. So he's heading down to bot lane. I think Orianna's actually TPing to bot lane too. So we're at the point of the game that obviously mid laners naturally sometimes just go side lane. A big reason for that is usually bot lane towers are the first to go, one of them. Obviously this game, mid lane has also gone. But it's mid laners and top laners generally want to be the highest level in the game. And you do that by maintaining solo XP. So yeah. So many pings. Again, this is very high rating, and this right now, just to say, is what high rating is. It's so much pinging. Again, people don't use chat anymore, so how you talk to people is through pinging. It's letting your team know this is what I want you to do. Alistair, he has done a few odd things this game. Really nice though overall. Into the double 1-1, and there we go. So Alistair started that a little bit alone, but they finished it very nice. Hey, Avika. Oh. So jungle matchup, obviously Talia's doing very well herself. Lee Sin, is he going to go for it? Yep, I'd imagine he is. Doesn't hit the E, so Kha'Zix manages to scurry away. But they will potentially open up the base. I doubt they're going to go for the inhib. Again, just reminding everyone, really early inhibs aren't always a good thing to get. Why? Hello, Ashes. So really early inhibs, basically, they feed a high value minion every wave, a super minion, into the enemy base. And if you don't have the pressure to end the game, you're basically just feeding the enemy team more gold. That's in essence what you're doing. Sure, some people could argue, you know, if you get the early inhib, does that translate into other things? It can. But I wouldn't personally take an inhib before 20 minutes. I wouldn't take an inhib before Baron spawns. The moment that Baron is up, you can use an inhibitor, especially right at 20 minutes. A super minion is a big distraction for an early Baron. But if it's before 20 minutes, that is the time that I would be like, don't kill an inhib. Unless you are, you know, 20 kills ahead of the enemy team, you will just end the game. Fair enough, do it. But if it's a semi-close game, I wouldn't. So big play by the enemy team is trying to come out. They're basically going for, in essence, a desperate play, looking for a pick in the enemy territory. And they got the Rumble, I think the first kill of the fight, but then the red team kind of showed up and beat them all up. So Kai'Sa does look like she might also try to get away. Zeri's very low. But I think both AD carries are just going to scurry away. Kai'Sa might look for a snipe with W, you never know. And there she is. She's farming. Lee Sin probably has got that in his sights now. I wouldn't be surprised. He's looking for it. Oh, Kai'Sa's shown again. Really weird overstay when you know Lee Sin is still around. So she... Oh, and then, okay, that's maybe why the Kai'Sa was looking to stay here, because they had the Orianna nearby. But now the Orianna, you're in trouble. So she really desperately tried to get that. Lee Sin's going to go hunting for the Kai'Sa. But again, not... Oh! I was going to say, not the easiest thing to do, but very nice. A flash into his Q. It's right, Iroxo. How am I feeling? Awful. If I'm completely honest. But yeah, Lee Sin, you can see his pressure is just very high. So Spear Shojin. I'll be honest, Spear Shojin does surprise me. I think I actually have said this about Lee Sin before. So Lee Sin is an energy champion, and energy obviously has limited amount. It's got 200, and it, you know, it has a flat regen. You can technically speed it up as Lee Sin if you auto attack while you're using your abilities. But yeah, so Spirit Shojin basically is going to allow him to use his Q, W, E so much quicker than normal. So much so that in an actual proper big fight, he may run out of energy quite easily. And that, again, maybe if you're kind of thinking about the big picture, we said about his runes earlier, it was weird to me that he went attack speed. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe if he knew he was going Spirit Shojin, what does he need to get energy regen as a Lee Sin? He needs to auto attack in between his spells, and what helps with more auto attacking? Attack speed. So maybe in the grand picture, if you kind of put everything together, it actually makes sense maybe why he went attack speed. So again, so Lee Sin's passive, you can see here, is his abilities grant Lee Sin 40% attack speed for 2 attacks, and then the first attack that he does gives 40 energy back, and the second one gives 20. So it's where typically most Lee Sins in a combo will use a spell, auto attack only once, then use another spell. Generally because the second auto attack takes a bit longer and it's only giving you half the energy back. But if your attack speed is a lot quicker, when suddenly you use an ability auto attack twice with quicker attack speed, and you get 60 energy back per time, and then with even Spirit Shojin's ability haste being so high, maybe then you won't run out of energy. So yeah, if you maybe think of the grand picture, it kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. Also, just to say to the YouTube channel and to anybody who's tuned in recently to the thingy, obviously the happy number at the moment is not looking too happy, but if we in the next few weeks re-hit the happy number, I will be opening this. So this is a Mew Premium box. I will be uploading the footage of unboxing it eventually to the second channel. I actually haven't, and I've forgotten already, to upload the first unboxing I did of a different product, but in the same set. And I'll be doing that maybe later today. Okay, I also just want to explain that Lee Sin's play there. That was actually really, really good. And I'm actually going to go back to explain it in more detail. So hang on. Watch this. I'm going to slow it down. So, Lee Sin, of starting the play, has no energy, right? He's used all of his energy. He kicks. He goes back to auto the minion to get the little bit more energy, and then he returns to the fight. That's the point. All the really good Lee Sins know to get those auto attacks in. If ever you watch a new Lee Sin, they just don't do those auto attacks, and they kind of go, oh, I'm out of energy all the time. How would you? I'm ooey out of energy. And that's the point. A really good Lee Sin, even in the moment and in the middle of combat, they turn to an auto attack a minion. So yeah, so Lee Sin's TP's the top, but the surrender vote comes through. But there we go. Black Cleaver also was the third item. Not even sure if Ravenous Hydra would be in his build, but I presume it would be. But there we go. If you guys enjoyed, Lane Lee Sin is becoming popular. Hopefully you enjoyed. Do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.